My pod is Boston, my pod is pure. I've got a Mukka, his name is Jord. It's Mukkapod, it's Mukkapod, it's Mukkapod Ayit. And we're going to talk about some characters that ain't even real. And hope someone gives a shit. Ah, kid. There you go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Mukkapod, the weekly podcast that covers all the happenings in the world of pop culture with a hefty side of top-drawer British banter. Whatever you're into, we've got something for everyone, whether that's movies, gaming, comic or anime, you name it, we've got it. And as I always say, if we ain't got it, ya don't need it. I'm your host, Jamie, and with me, as always, is my beautiful counterpart, Jord. How's it going, Jord?
How's it going, mate? I'm not too bad.
I'm old, eh? It was my birthday yesterday.
Yeah, so Jay's old now, so
I am. I've turned.
We are now changing our aim, and we will be exclusively talking about golf and gardening.
Not to mention just closing my eyes for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just all.
Resting. We will be talking in depth about resting Jay's eyes on the sofa for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
On an early Sunday afternoon.
I'm also going to tell Joe that he's not going out of the house dressed like that. But
So I really owe one for leaving the house anyway, so we're all good.
George's got me I'm going to hold it this way actually because it's got my address on it, but George's brought me a present and I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to open that at some stage during the podcast. So thank you for that, George.
Yeah, no worries. As of recording, it was Jamie's birthday yesterday.
Yeah, I don't want people to steal my identity though, so I'm not going to I'm not going to reveal what day we're recording this on. So. It's got me thinking though, man, because I'm 30, right, and I'm staring down the barrel of a gun now. It's like my best years are behind me, and I was thinking about stuff like, like E3 and Comic-Con and stuff like that. Now obviously they announce projects years and years in advance, so what year should I stop watching these things so I'm not going to get excited for things that are going to come out after I've died?
I think you got some time left, to be honest. I don't think it's something you need to worry about right now.
Give it a few years.
Give it 6 months, Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome to Mukkapod. Thank you again for joining us. The way this works kind of format-wise, for those of you who haven't seen us before, obviously we talk about geek culture, gaming, all sorts of shit like that, and we go into a bit of news and sort of like what's been going on this week, give our thoughts on that. We've usually got a trailer reaction segment, but we don't have that this week. There's no reactions this week, so we're just going to go from the news straight into our topic, which this week is Mortal Kombat.
It is, yeah.
And then at the end, we're just going to talk about how we've been getting on, like any of the stuff that hasn't made it into the podcast thus far. What have we been up to that week, whether we've been reading something, playing something, etc., etc. So let's get into it. News, Ayit, Jord?
Yeah, so before we get into the first item, there was some stuff to react to, trailer-wise. Namely A Quiet Place 2, but I don't want to watch the trailer because I feel for the movies that are getting released now that were supposed to be released before the pandemic. I saw a bus advert with A Quiet Place 2 on it every day for the past year and a half or whatever it's been.
I saw the big poster for it when I went to see Sonic, and that was going on a year ago now.
Exactly, that was over a year ago now. Because of that, I feel like everything that they wanted to release would have been released a while ago at this point. Because the film was A Quiet Place 2, I think, was the last film to not get released that was planned.
I think you might be right.
I think it was close. There was I think it was less than 2 weeks in it before everything went to absolute shit. So so I just want to go in fresh, and I think it's a good film to do that with. I'm sure I will at least talk about it. Maybe Jamie will as well. Have you seen the first one?
I need to see the first one, to be honest with you, because I know it's one of your.
It's one of my favourite horrors, definitely.
Something you've recommended to me, and I do like. I like horror films, and good modern horror films are kind of few and far between. So when I hear that one's good, I should probably check it out. The problem is I live with a woman, and every time I've suggested watching it, she's just sort of been like, no, I don't really fancy watching something.
I just tell her Kate likes it. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's more suspense and scary, and it's the The acting in it is fantastic. I would recommend it to anyone, and I'm really, really excited for the second one. I've already got my babysitter sorted.
Amazing.
And it comes out on the day that I'm due to get my second jab, and in anticipation of being ill, I'm going straight from the jab, so that because you get like a window of being fine after it before it completely ruins your life for a few days.
All right, so this is the plan of attack then. You get your jab, you go and see A Quiet Place 2, and
Come on, record a podcast.
yeah. Edit it.
Edit it really quick.
You're gonna have a busy day.
I am, yeah, busy evening since my jab's at 6. So
the other thing as well this week that we were going to potentially talk about was the teaser trailer for Stranger Things 4. But I'm up to date with Stranger Things, but Jord, it's not something that he's checked out just yet, so we wouldn't have. Really
I've checked it out.
much
It's
to
not
talk about.
something that I can be bothered with, really.
Oh really? Not your cup of
Kate's
tea?
watched it in the background. Granted, I wasn't in the room when she watched season 1, but from what I saw of season 2 and 3, I think it is. Pass.
Season 1's the best one, to be honest with you. So if you were going to watch any of it, I'd watch season 1. It's not. I enjoyed it. It's not one of my favourite franchises. It doesn't shoot up there. I'm quite excited for season 4. I want to see where it goes. I like some of the characters. I dislike some of the other characters. Do you know what I mean? It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not something that's amazing. But anyway, no trailer reactions this week. So
That was a really long-winded way of saying that.
Yep. No worries. No worries. We gotta provide context though. That's what people need. It's what they crave. It's what they want.
Fucking news,
Item-
fucking humour, context. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
That's what butters my muffin.
Yeah, buddy. What butters my muffin? Did you say?
I did, yeah.
I love that. I love that. I'm gonna steal that one. That was amazing. Item 1 on today's agenda. It's our favourite thing to talk about, Jord. It's DC on film. So, I'm joking. That comes later. It's Marvel.
Surprised me, yeah.
Earlier this week, so Marvel put out a video celebrating its movie universe on film, which we both watched. Narration by Stan Lee, and kind of like a greatest hits of the Marvel movies, which was good and it was nice. But what I really want to talk about is the ending section. So basically, they went through all the currently announced Phase 4 movies, gave us release dates. There was a few nuggets in there, though, wasn't there? Because not only did we get like a look at things that we haven't seen before, but there's also some movies that we knew were coming but didn't quite know in what capacity they were coming in. So I suppose the first thing to talk about, really, the first new thing that's like, ooh, is that we got a little sneak peek at Eternals. And it looks alright, doesn't it? It looks like...
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
We got 3 seconds of it, and it's still not enough to judge anything on. We haven't had we haven't had a proper trailer. Correct me if I'm wrong, for Eternals yet.
No, nothing. This was the first bit of
Angelina Jolie sure got a sword. That's all I can really say.
She's definitely got a sword. Yeah, the guy who was in Game of Thrones is in it. They're walking in the desert, aren't they?
Yeah, and Kamal Nanjiani's still ripped. So.
Yep, he's fucking shredded. And then the one shot that I did quite like, though, was, like the whole team kind of standing together and a speedster comes in and then they start walking forward. So
no, man, it just seems so generic. What it reminded me of, especially after watching Invincible quite recently, is it just reminded me of a knockoff Justice League, like an intentionally shitty version of the Justice League.
Oh no, that's not a ringing endorsement, is it? Do you know what? I don't give a shit about the Eternals, but I remember not giving a shit about Guardians of the Galaxy, and they made me give a shit about them to the point where it's probably one of my favourites that they've done.
But I did give a shit about Guardians of the Galaxy, and I still don't give a shit about this. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I want to see more before I give a proper thing. Do you know what I mean? A proper reaction. Sorry. So we had no footage for the movies already announced. Like Spider-Man and Thor and Doctor Strange, but we did get a few nuggets, particularly in the title of Captain Marvel 2. So it's going to be called The Marvels, which is interesting.
So obviously, what that's hinting at is that. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, will be, quite a big part of the film, as equally big as Carol Danvers. So
I hope so.
Good.
I hope so, definitely.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
And Monica Rambeau is probably going to be back in that one as well, by all accounts. This is what I hear through all the articles.
It seems
that are
like that's
reporting this.
what's been set up at the very least, and I'm sure we'll probably, in that case, I'm sure we'll probably have Nick Fury back as well.
Yeah, most likely. Which I'm kind of looking forward to. I want to see Carol and Nick have an interaction on film. I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't see him catch up at the funeral. You know, over the buffet table having a vol au vent and a chicken leg, and just like, hey, how's
Probably
it
would
going?
have gone with
I like what you did with your hair.
Probably would have gone with the tone of the rest of that scene, would it really?
No.
Iron Man's dead.
I
love your hair.
We'll put that in as well. You know, shame Ayit. Like, oh yeah, no, he was a bit of a prick, but I'm still sad he's dead. So I barely knew him. I just saved him one day when he was floating around in space. Anyway, man, how's your cat? I don't want to talk about it. To be honest with you. Yeah. On a brief side note, though, what did you think of the uniform? Because there was a set photo that leaked.
Amazing. Couldn't have asked for anything better. It's perfect. So if this is your first episode, Commander Khan, Miss Marvel is my favourite Marvel character, which is a really fucking big statement coming from someone who likes Marvel as much as me and the films and stuff as much as me, as a character that hasn't even got a film yet. But no, so I'm really, really excited. The costume looks spot on. This looks perfect.
I'm chuffed for you, man. I'm glad.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, me too.
Wondering if we're going to get some Inhuman stuff in either of those two films. In the film or the Miss Marvel series, or if they're going to change her origin. We'll see.
It's open for interpretation, isn't it? It'd be interesting. Obviously, all that stuff now isn't canon anymore, is it? You know, like your Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., your Agent Carter, your Inhumans. It's been moved on Disney Plus to the non-MCU Marvel stuff. So they've kind of took that away a little bit. So what about Black Panther 2, man?
I have no feelings towards this title reveal.
You got no feelings, did you say?
Nah.
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever, that's something they say in the first one, I remember. I saw it.
I saw that too. So Wakanda is in fact going on forever. It will never be definitively decided when Wakanda is no longer forever. So... moving ahead without Chadwick Boseman, which is good. I know a lot of people were saying, recast him.
No, you don't recast him.
No. Chadwick Boseman's legacy is more important than a cape shit movie. Do you know what I mean? So, Guardians 3 as well, which has also been in the news this week because Dave Bautista and James Gunn have both hinted that it'll be their last Marvel project. So, yeah.
He said, so Dave Bautista hinted that Drax will be recast or something like that, but I'd rather they killed him. I'm not a big fan of, in this universe, recasting characters because the actor doesn't want to go on anymore. I'd rather that they got them in a contract that was good enough and sort of planned their arc there and then.
Yeah.
And by the time, their last film comes around, they're dead. or Drax has got his family back. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but it's just an example of something like a good ending,
Yeah, like he's able to walk off into the sunset somewhat, a nice end. He doesn't necessarily have to die. But I did see a post on Facebook that was like, Guardians of the Galaxy has a wood-coloured logo and they killed Groot, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 has a blue logo and they killed Yondu, and now this one's got a grey logo, so they're going to kill Drax.
Yeah, I did see that. Sure, kill Drax. I like the character, but if Dave Bautista's not going to play him, I don't give a shit.
Nah, I mean, there's certain characters in the MCU that I think that you could chop and change or recast, but not with this one. I think that Dave Bautista's interpretation of Drax is... I don't think
any of the Guardians you could do it for.
No,
obviously, no. Except for Groot, because
does that really count? I want Groot to be Groot again in Guardians 3.
I would quite like Groot to be normal, fully grown Groot again.
Like the same one from Guardians 1.
Yeah, or like King Groot, which I think might be which might be like an exclusive to a game or something like that. But I just love the design of it so much.
It's not exclusive. He's been King Groot in the comics before.
Has he?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, anyway. But
so it's like Groot, but on steroids. It really seems to be Contest of Champions original, but Marvel have a good relationship with Contest and Champions, and they have used some of their original characters before. They're created with the help of Marvel.
Yeah.
And it's I know
it's
that
very synergistic, isn't it? The development of that game.
And I know from watching, because they've been really open with their community, a lot more so the past few past year or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, he's Groot, but he's been juicing essentially.
Yeah, he's been chicken and broccoli 5 times a day.
Definitely.
You know, push pull splits.
Rice and a fish cake.
Rice and a fish cake. That's quite a lot of carbs in it. That. Shit! I've been eating this for 3 weeks.
That's a reference that no one's gonna get.
Oh, I hope so. If you've got that reference in the comments, like right now, let's have you. Okay, and then the last logo that we've got, and the only one that hasn't got a release date, is Fantastic Four, which I've seen memes of that people have been putting the shield behind it. It's actually Captain America 4. It stands for Phase 4. And I was surprised at the amount of people that I saw, like, oh my god, did anybody catch the logo for the Fantastic Four at the end? And it's like, well, yeah, that logo's been out there for a while.
It has, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't an Easter egg. It wasn't something that we were supposed to miss.
It wasn't anything new either. So
no, that's gonna end off Phase 4 allegedly. So it's gonna be the last project. But no, all in all, I like this little video. I mean, I know we didn't see too much of the Eternals, and obviously we've seen a lot of Black Widow and a lot of Shang-Chi before, and didn't get much more else apart from a few title reveals and some logos. But I like seeing the slate, and with some definitive release dates, it's sort of like saying, yeah, we're back now. You know, I mean, we've got films in development. We're going to be putting them out in cinemas. The films are coming. Obviously, the Disney Plus stuff is happening as well. But I kind of liked it. I got a little bit of, I got some goosebumps every now and then, especially when Stan Lee was doing the narrations at the start.
Yeah, I didn't, but I'm still excited for a lot of it. But cool. I think like they're using Stanley to get to play to our emotions a little bit. That's almost how I feel.
I just thought that actually as I was saying it, and when you responded, I think I fell for that. I think
you might have. It actually put me off a little bit.
Oh, you reckon?
For me, definitely.
Okay.
Because believe it or not, he ain't around anymore. He ain't alive. So he's dead. Is what I'm trying to say.
I know he's still like quite synonymous with the brand,
and he is, but so are a lot of other people. And I would have preferred Nick Fury saying something in place of someone who's still with the franchise and has been there since the very start. Because he's the oldest character that hasn't been recast, I believe.
Yes,
he would be, wouldn't he?
Yes.
No. General Ross. Okay, my bad. But still, he's. I think.
No. He was before General Ross because he was in Iron Man.
It wasn't it? Yeah, Iron Man. I always forget which way the whatever
those came out. Yeah. I take it. You don't count Paul Bettany as the voice of Jarvis.
No, I don't.
No, so yeah, it's Sam Jackson. That's not emotionally manipulative though, mate, and you got to have this emotional manipulation because it gives fanboys like me goosebumps. And makes me go, I remember Stan Lee. I remember him when he was alive.
Rest in peace, Stan.
Okay, so yeah, R.I.P. Stan the man. But quite conversely, we also got a bit of Batman footage this week. So it leaked online, and then it was released in HD afterwards. And not only did we get a good look at Matt Reeves in his pretentious director's scarf, but we got a good look at Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, and she looks like an idiot, man.
Okay.
She does it, but the character design.
I haven't seen this. I've just seen the picture that you sent me. I haven't seen that there's footage.
There's a little bit of footage, yeah.
Okay.
It's in there, man. Yeah. Are you going to watch it? Or...
I tried, but then I would have to cut this part out because my earphones are only working for this call, apparently. So we're not going to do that.
Right. You get the essence of it with the picture that I've sent you, though. Okay. Like, what the fuck is that? I'm all for Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. It was just her goggles up to look like little cat ears because it was kind of referencing the 60s show.
I rewatched that
film
probably a month and a half ago, and I thought, looks good, man. Looks good. What
I was hoping for though was which we haven't had from a Catwoman film in interpretation, I was hoping for the Jim Lee comic book design / the Arkham City design, like with the goggles and the cat cowl and the leather suit and like proper fucking Catwoman.
Yeah, I think it's hard to make that not look really fucking stupid though.
No, I don't think so, man. It's sort of like
Okay.
I think female Batman in that design that Robert Pattinson's going for. I feel that would have looked good, and anything would have looked better than some. It's basically some tights on a head with a little box cut out in the middle.
So I mean, this is it looks terrible. The sock with a hole in it that's on her head, it looks awful. But I really hope that she gets an upgrade throughout the film.
Yeah,
that they're
like
intentionally not showing us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to be pretty gutted about that, because like even for a sock on the head, if it was your final design, you could make that look a bit better.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad.
I get Netflix Daredevil vibes with it, but Daredevil managed to pull it off.
I get Halloween costume vibes from Poundland.
Yeah.
I
mean the production on this team has put a lot of work into other characters. Like, you've seen what Colin Farrell looks like as the Penguin, where he looks irrecognisable as Colin Farrell. Yeah. Yeah,
I have not been paying attention to any of this film, apparently.
Yo, man, it's sick. Like it's Colin Farrell as the Penguin, but it looks nothing like Colin Farrell. He's got all this prosthetics
Let's just have a
and whatever
tippity
on his
tap
face.
of the keyboard.
So my point with that is, like, if they're putting that much effort into other characters, then hopefully this is not a final design. Like,
whoa!
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Sick.
I swear this is gonna be a good film, man. This is gonna be really good. We haven't got that long to wait for it either now. So, but I really hope it's a proto design, like you just said. Not a good look. But the little 60-second of documentary that it's in is kind of cool. I'll link that to you after the podcast.
So I've got it. I'll have a watch. But yeah, I am bad podcast host. Did not watch it beforehand. So sorry, guys.
It's all right, mate. Should we talk about Demon Slayer the movie?
Yeah,
it's been quite successful, isn't it, man?
It's earned more than £10.
Yes,
more than £20, I believe.
Yes,
but less than all of the money in the world.
It's not made a small chunk of change, mate. It beat Mortal Kombat in its second week.
Yeah, it did.
And it's made history as being the first anime movie in over a decade to hit #1 at the US movie box office. The only other time an anime movie's ever done that was with Pokemon, the first movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something like Akira or something like that. Wow.
No, the only other anime movie that has hit #1 at the US box office is Pokemon, the first movie. Okay. And now Demon Slayer. I mean, I'm watching Demon Slayer at the moment because this movie hasn't come out in the UK yet, but it's coming out in a few weeks. Yeah. So I'm catching up on Demon Slayer at your recommendation.
And I'm going to rewatch it as well.
I'm loving it. I'm having an absolute blast with it. But what is it about this particular anime, as somebody who's watched it? Why is this so successful? Like, what's the? Because I like it, but I haven't been like fucking wow just yet.
Don't fucking know. I really don't. It's not bad. In fact, it's pretty damn fucking good. The animation is. It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's some of the best I've seen.
Fucking. Let me turn this stupid works phone off that Kate leaves on 24/7 because it keeps making. It's still connected to all of her stuff. So every time she gets a notification on Facebook, it's in the back of the podcast. So yeah. Oh, God's sake! I've got to put the pin in to turn it off. What is this? There we go. So what I've done is I've stopped one interruption to the podcast by making a huge interruption to the podcast. But we're all good now. We can move on without the fear in the back of our minds that we're going to hear that boop, 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 boop. Okay. Yeah, Demon Slayer. No fucking idea.
Why is it so good?
It's why is it so popular? I don't know. No idea. If the numbers for the amount of manga volumes sold last year is ridiculous. Everything else, it gets like, they're looking to get like 5 million copies sold or something like that, and then Demon Slayer just comes and destroys the all-time record of volumes sold in a year at 85 million.
It's crazy. Those are crazy numbers.
It's bonkers, and I don't personally get it. There are other shows that I watched last season that are better than Demon Slayer. No doubt in my mind. Jujutsu Kaisen is a better series than Demon Slayer Series 1. By far. So I personally don't get it. I'm hoping the movie will explain a bit more of it to me, because I hear really good things about it. The story's good. The animation's amazing, but it's not.
I'm really enjoying it. I'm really vibing with Demon Slayer, and it's just good for the medium, man. I mean, for a
it's great for it, and the whole industry, yeah.
For an anime movie that is I know you may like it, but it's quite a niche market, isn't it? And like anime fans,
it's getting less niche.
Especially something like this, though, that's mainly catering to existing fans, because it's not like a standalone movie. It's like a continuation of the series.
Exactly. It's
for that to fucking come out of pretty much nowhere and beat Mortal Kombat. It's
a big deal.
It's pretty insane, man.
It's a really big deal. But I mean, I think the whole anime industry and it's becoming a lot more mainstream. I was in Forbidden Planet last week picking up Spy Family Volume 4, which I'll get back to in Aazitgewin. Because it was good. Spoiler alert. And then someone came in, and they were quite young. I say quite young. I'm quite young. It's all relative, isn't it? I think they were probably about 19, and they looked. And they're in a comic book shop to start with. And I was like, they look way too chavvy to be in here. Like, with like the bubble jacket and everything like that. And they just rock up to the manga section and start like flicking through, and they take a few and actually go and buy them. And
wow, like,
what is this? There's someone else in Birmingham that knows what this is. Obviously, that's a joke. But I'm just surprised to see. Whenever I go to pick up some new manga, I'm not the only one looking at it. I'm never the only one looking at it, and it's not the biggest section.
It's good. That's good though, man. It's good for the medium. I'm glad that
more money going into it, more great stuff coming out of it.
Exactly. People are buying it, and we'll get more content as a result. Yeah. It's fucking great, and fair play to Demon Slayer, man. It's a good it's a nice bit of validation as well. I'm glad that people are more unabashedly unashamed of what they like these days.
Yeah,
because that myth of like the 30-year-old virgin geek that lives with his mom's basement, that's kind of like it doesn't exist anymore really in pop.
No, we've got families, mate. We got kids now. It's
exactly. Okie dokie.
No,
Game of Thrones.
Sorry,
Game of Thrones. Nope, sorry. Were you going to say something?
I was, but let's just move on. Game of Thrones. Okay, let's move on again. There's something else about Andrew Garfield. What are we talking about?
Game of Thrones, mate. It's getting a prequel. They've released some set photos. We've got to talk about it.
Okay,
production stills.
A fucking prequel doesn't work, right? If the thing that is already out, that it comes before, is dog shit and goes nowhere, prequels don't work on that alone. It's like
I don't know where to go from there.
I don't want to talk about no fucking set photos of people in stupid armour. Or anything.
Listen. There's nothing wrong with the production values of Game of Thrones. Do you know what I mean? It was never a fault of the production value.
People on that production crew that poured their heart into that show, thinking that it was going to go down in history of one of the best shows of all time.
It could have.
It could have, and it should have. We all know who's to blame. Let's move on with our lives and not watch the prequel because we don't want to give them our money. Okay.
We don't want to watch the prequel at all. No. It's got Matt Smith's on a beach. Reese Ifans is on a beach.
Still Game of Thrones.
So they've put out some production stills and they've given some character descriptions as well. It just sounds like more Game of Thrones. Matt Smith plays like a usurper to the throne. They mentioned dragon riders. There's a cool looking character called the Sea Snake who's like this pirate type character. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I liked Game of Thrones for what it was. It was just that last season really cut me deep.
Okay, so the point in time where I'll watch this is when it's wrapped. They've had 6 seasons or whatever, and it's finished, and someone turns to me and said, "Wow, that ended well."
That's it. Then
to be
fair,
I will go
it's
and
hard.
watch
It's hard to give an opinion on this because, like you just said, and like I said, there was hundreds of people who poured their heart and souls into making this look good, and it looks good. But what's the writing going to be like? Because that was what killed Game of Thrones at the end. There, it was just shoddy writing. So
beautiful show,
the
absolutely beautiful looking. Even the very last episode of Game of Thrones, it looks great.
Oh, it all looks good, mate. It's all nice. Apart from, I've never seen a man shifting chairs around a room look so good, to be honest with you. But on the same score, though, it was the last episode of Game of Thrones, and he was shifting chairs around the room, so it just doesn't work for me. But do you know what? I'm going to use a Game of Thrones analogy to give my impression of this show, and that would be that children are not their fathers, Jord. So maybe I'm going to give House of the Dragon a fair crack of the whip before I judge it based on what happened with Game of Thrones, because it is an entirely new creative team. So
okay, mate, go for it. I can't wait to hear all about how much you enjoy or did not enjoy it.
It is said that every time a Game of Thrones show goes into production, the HBO flips a coin and the world holds their breath.
Essentially, yeah. How many have been cancelled now?
1 billion.
A lot.
1 million billion. Too many. This one hasn't though, and it looks okay. You know, I'll make my own opinion of it when it comes out. Detective Pikachu may not be getting a sequel, according to Justice Smith, who was sort of like the lead actor in this.
And it should not.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's a complete film. Yeah. It's a complete story. But what it does is it opens us, the viewing audience, up to this world of Pokemon. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
we don't need a Detective Pikachu 2, but what it's perfectly set up is any number of other stories that any writer wants to tell in this universe of that we like. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
You hit the nail on the head. I don't really need to add much to that because that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm glad you said
Sorry,
that.
Joe.
No. It's fine. I mean, he was being asked about He was being asked about his career, and he was like, I'm a big fan. I want another film, but I don't know whether it's going to happen. We should bury our hopes. But the producer at Legendary Entertainment, Eli Mendes, he says, Pokemon's such a rich universe. There are so many ways you can go inside of it. We're trying to get this first movie right. That's what I said back in the day. And then once we've done that, we'll see where we go from there. But absolutely, there's a lot of opportunities. And that's great to hear because I actually think that Detective Pikachu didn't go far enough with the concept of a Pokemon movie. It was
I think it went perfectly far enough for an introduction to it. Because what you have to understand is, me and you, we're on board. We're up to date with Pokemon. You more than me, but we sort of know what's going on. We pay attention to the games coming out. I bought Pokemon cards as recently as 5 years ago, which obviously compared to some people nowadays, or if you go on Twitch, people have been in thousands of pounds worth of them. It's nothing. But for your average mid-20s man with a kid with a government job, that's a very recent time to be buying Pokemon cards.
I can go one better as a 30-year-old man with a family that I got Pokemon Snap for my birthday yesterday.
Exactly. But what you're going to understand is that there are, for every one of us, there are 10 people that played a bit of Pokemon as a kid, and Legendary are trying to bring them back into it.
Yeah, I remember Pikachu and Charizard and Mewtwo, and I kind of remember one or two other ones, but I haven't really looked at this franchise for years. Those kinds of people.
Yeah, and that's why it was that was why it was Detective Pikachu and not Detective Shaman or someone like that. It's
Detective Garbodor.
Yeah.
This doesn't make me. It's a shame. It's a shame that we're not going to get more Detective Pikachu, because I did like that cast of characters, you know, and that particular story that they chose to tell. I liked it.
It was good.
I'd like to see Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu again, taking up another case, but it doesn't make me despair for Pokemon films in general, because the Legendary are on record as saying, let's see what happens. And it didn't. It made $443 million worldwide, and so that's not a flop in any.
It's not a flop, but it's Pokemon makes bank. I think they went into this picturing that this was going to make at least 800 million, with fingers crossed for passing the $1 billion mark.
I'll tell you what they've got to do is they've got to make 2 films, man. They've got to make Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, and like each one's got exclusive scenes and stuff, because that's what makes so much money.
Not even scenes, just like change one extra in the background or something like that, something completely arbitrary.
I love it. I love everything about it. Right, we've reached a segment of that show called Sarrnd as a Parrnd or Darrn on the Graand. Here's how it's going to work. George sent me a present, and I'm going to open it, and I'll tell you whether I think it's Sarrnd as a Parrnd or Darrn on the Graand.
Have I got to watch all of this to make sure your address isn't in it? Because I think you might have just
did I
put it to the camera. We'll see. I'll forget to check in editing, and then you'll get doxed. It's fine.
Don't worry about it. If anyone wants to come and try and rob me, I'll sleep with a hammer under my bed, mate. You fucking come and have a go if you think you're on it.
He's a big man as well. I've mentioned it before.
I'm joking. For the YouTube algorithm, that was a joke. The parody. Ooh! A limited edition big box! Oh, mate. Oh, dude, I love it. Sarrnd as a Parrnd. Sarrnd as a Parrnd. So this is a Crash Bandicoot limited edition big box. And it's got all sorts of little... Oh, is that one of those controller holder things?
Don't think so. It wasn't that expensive.
Dude, I think it might be. Let's have a look. I
did nearly get you. There is something else as well, I believe.
Ooh. Is there something else? Oh, presents and presents and presents. Mate, I've got another one.
It's very in keeping with the theme of the previous present.
Ah, dude, I love it. Ah, it's a Deathlight TNT. Oh, mate, I fucking love this. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sarrnd as a Parrnd. What you need to do is get yourself some mates like Jord. This is what you need to do. Fucking
cheers,
right, mate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, mate.
I was just thinking, like, I knew you'd like it. Like, it's
Dude, I love it.
It was no risk in that aspect. It was just if someone else had already got it for you, that was the worry.
No.
Okay.
So with this one, can you like slap it and it goes bop 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 bop?
I have no idea. Believe it or not, Jay, I didn't check them before Amazon sent them to you.
Oh God, yeah. Of course.
So right. I've got no idea.
Wait. I'm going in on this now.
Should we jump to the break and then we can come back?
No.
No, okay. You've got to watch this. You've got to watch this, everyone.
Okay, so there's a slot here that I could put batteries in. So I reckon
it didn't come with batteries
in there.
That's bollocks. It is a light up one, but I don't know if it makes
any
noises.
I'm just wondering if when I hit it, will it go? You know, like the and then hopefully not explode. So
yeah, it's a one-time use.
I love it. One time. I love it, mate. Thank you so much. Sarrnd as a Parrnd for those presents.
You're very welcome. I hope you had a good birthday, mate.
I did.
Which I know you did because I spoke to you already, but...
Bless you. All right, guys, thank you ever so much for sticking with us thus far. Don't forget, the best way for you to support this show at the current moment is not by buying anything.
No, it's just to
affiliate link.
It's just to post your wallets directly to us. You've seen Jay's address by now.
Just on screen. No affiliate link, no Patreon. The show is always fucking free, but all we ask is that you leave a like, you leave us a comment, and that you subscribe. That is literally all that we're asking for.
I just want to add, Jay said the show is always free, no affiliate link, no Patreon. There will be, trust me, as soon as we think we can make money out of this, we're ringing your drive for everything we can fucking get. Call me Zuckerberg, motherfucker. But at this current moment in time, there's nothing.
No,
Okay,
at this moment,
yeah.
while we're building it, it's we're building it at the moment. So take advantage of that while you can, until we're telling you to buy like NordVPN or something similar like that. But thank you everyone for the
Audible
continued
Shadow
support.
Legends.
Double Shadow Legends, exactly.
Audible, yeah.
Exactly.
That'd be a good one.
But thank you everyone
Give us
for the
money.
support just for and ignore him.
No, please do what Jay's saying and like and comment and subscribe. Obviously, I'm
Thanks.
only
For free.
fucking around
For free.
For free. Yeah, it's all
For
free.
free, thank you.
It's all free.
Nice one. All right, thank you ever so much, guys. We're going to have a quick break and then we'll be back to talk about Mortal Kombat!
We will.
Thank
Yep. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate it. That's your
will.
one for the. I'm not going to make you do it again. That was good.
Yeah. I'll do it after the break when we come back into it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So yeah, when Jay shouts Mortal Kombat, we're back.
Okay. Nice one. Mortal Kombat. Expectation subversion.
Is that all I'm getting?
Yeah. Mortal Kombat. Are you ready? You ready to talk about some fucking flawless victories?
Yeah, and I've got lots and lots and lots to say about this film.
No, you haven't though, have you, John? No, you haven't.
No.
You see, I've got quite a bit.
Okay,
to
you
say.
start
So,
then, Jay.
well, I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat. It's very near and dear to my heart, and like the more I think about it, the more it's probably one of my favourite franchises of all time.
So my exposure to Mortal Kombat was that I had it on the Game Gear that I got off my aunt when I was a kid. So
I've played, with the exception of 1 or 2, I haven't played some of the spin-off games, and I haven't played Mortal Kombat 4, which was the first one where they went 3D. But aside from that, I've had at least a tinker with every single Mortal Kombat game.
really,
I'm
I didn't know
a big
that.
fan. I'm a basic bitch. Scorpion is my favourite character, like most people.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so we had a film.
My favourite is Too Cold Man.
Too Cold Man.
Yeah.
My favourite is Jax, who unlocks the power of great games.
Robotic gains.
Robotic games, yeah. So what did you think overall? Mortal Kombat 2021.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean it was okay, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna give my review now, and then we can actually talk about some of the stuff that happens in it.
Go on.
The fighting is really good.
Yeah,
like really good. If you like fighting, you'll like this. Whether you
who-
like actual fighting or video game, yeah, man. This is the film for you. If you want a story,
whoever played this played a lot. Whoever made this played a lot of Mortal Kombat.
yeah,
going
and they
into it,
realised
which I
that there wasn't
appreciated.
much of a story to the games, so we're not going to put much of a story in the films either.
No, to be fair, there's a lot of lore in the games that
Okay.
was kind of alluded to here, but not outright said.
Okay. So
And that's to its detriment, I think, definitely.
okay, fair enough. A lot of big, long-running game franchises like this do have a very good wealth of lore to sort of take from. They didn't seem to do that with this. It was fighting. But it was good fighting. I liked it.
Yeah, decent fighting, man.
The
decent
Australian
fighting.
dude
I mean,
was a prick.
best character in the film, though. Kano, would you not agree?
No.
Like, because I was watching it, and it's like the acting isn't great in this, is it? Like, especially with that lead character,
It's not, no.
Cole. It just wasn't great, and the movie was kind of moving at a clip. Do you know what I mean? It was very fast paced, but almost to the point of being choppy.
You think?
And yeah,
I didn't get
definitely
that.
think so. And there's a few things in this. Like there's no spoilers, but there's quite a major death in this about 3/4 of the way through, right? And I would have just liked a little bit more time to let that hang in the air a little bit, you know what I mean? I want just an extra 15 minutes on top of the runtime, just to slow down in a few places, have some good character moments, let that death hang in the air, and have a bit more of a wrapped up conclusion.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
the reaction to
That's
that
what I would've
death
liked.
sort of solidified with me how unimportant that character was. It was exactly as unimportant as I thought he would be. So.
Do you know what? That's actually true. Yeah, I would have just liked a little bit more to it, because a lot of the characters in this seem unimportant when they're actually quite important in the games. Like the character Melina, which was the girl with the fucked up face who used the sigh.
Yeah,
and everything.
she looked nasty.
No, yeah, everything looks good. It's very on brand. Like the violence is on brand and the costume is on brand. And but in the game, she's got quite a lot more to her. Like she is a clone of a princess of a conquered realm that the outworld went into this realm called Edenia, killed the king, and took the queen as the bride. The Emperor Shao Kahn took the queen of the king that he killed as his bride, and the daughter as his adopted daughter, the princess. And then they cloned the princess and left Melina, the clone, ruling in Edenia, so like they can control the Edenian realm, because everybody thinks that the Melina is the princess of that realm.
Right, okay.
But the problem is they spliced her with do you know the character Baraka, the guy with the blaze that come out of his eyes? There's this character Baraka who's a Tarkatan, and they spliced the princess's DNA with this guy's DNA, and that's why she's got the Tarkatan face, so she wears a veil all the time. And obviously none of that's touched on in the movie. She's just a jobber. Do you know what I mean? Like
she is.
Reptile's in the movie, he's a jobber. General Reiko's in the movie, he's a jobber. Cabal is in the movie, he's a jobber. But they all look good.
Yeah, no, they did.
Even though
visually, this is a fantastic film. I would have to say.
Yeah, all of my problems with it come from, writing and dialogue and story. None of my problem is with the overall aesthetic of it.
What is it? Is it choreographer? Fucking nailed this.
Yes,
There's
definitely.
some really brutal stuff in this. It wasn't too long in between fights. It was a bad story, but there wasn't much of it. There was.
Yeah.
So I can let it go. It's not like I endured an hour and a half of bad film to get to 10 minutes of good action. It was honestly more like the other way around.
10 minutes of bad film and
an hour and a half of good action. Yes.
Yeah. And I like some of the stuff in this that's like the cold front that sort of heralds the arrival of Sub-Zero, and little details like that, and like the fatalities in this are pretty insane. They're on brand.
The dude with the metal arms. I think he might have best fatality, or it might be the dude with the frisbee hat who has best fatality.
The frisbee hat fatality is probably my favourite, because his face is a picture when he puts it through it, he's like, but I also enjoyed the garden gnome fatality as well, with just in the eye.
Oh, fair enough. No, I didn't really care. But the person who did that fatality, I was probably the only character I was actually interested in. I did find myself rooting for them.
Who's Sonya?
Yeah.
Yeah, God, talk to me about that then. I'll talk a bit, because I've got some notes about the characters, but I don't have much about Sonya.
So everyone else pretty much came off as pretty useless to me, except for her. And, it's very, very minor spoilers, but I don't know, and I don't know how much this relates to the game, but they all have little, marks on them, little dragon marks to show that they've been chosen.
Not in the game at all. That exclusive for that film.
Oh, is it? Okay. And they weren't, and she wasn't chosen. Her army mate was, or something like that, and that's why she's involved with it all, because she was there when it happened, when he killed someone and took the mark. But she isn't, and I was like, the whole film I was really rooting for her to kill someone and get the mark, and as soon as they sent her after Kane, I was like, well he's dead, isn't he? So
yeah, that's the thing, like to relate it back to the games, like with Sonya, what you've got to get right is the rivalry with Kano and the friendship with Jax, and both of those were in this film, and I was happy.
Okay, so I didn't know that was something that came from the games. Well, they nailed that then, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I thought that she unlocked her, because a plot line of the film is that they've all got to unlock their special superhuman abilities. Again, exclusive for this movie, that is. Do you know what I mean? It's
right.
I like how it's kind of explained away almost. So it's like in a fighting game, you don't have to explain the way why this monk's shooting fireballs out of his hands. It's because he's in a fighting game. But if we're going to make it so it's sort of like pseudo realistic almost, it's kind of like, all right, so we've all got these birthmarks that you inherit from people by killing them. And then you each unlock a superpower that is unique to yourself, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And she unlocks hers really fast in comparison to the rest of them, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, she gets the mark and then bang, she kills someone with the superpower.
And not just that, she gets the best one as well.
What, the energy rings?
Yeah, well, look how she destroyed the baddie with them straight away. Shoots a big hole in their chest immediately. My camera's gone all funny, but yeah,
I like how the camera pans through the ribcage. That's very on brand for Mortal Kombat, because like the fatality would happen, and then the camera would show you like the character through the eye of the hole that you've just made. It's very, very, very on brand for Mortal Kombat. I didn't like Cole Young though. This Cole Young is the main character, and he's the character invented completely for this film.
Seemed like a bit of a wet fish.
Not needed. Not needed.
Rubbish power as well.
A character. Yeah. There is a because he ends up being a descendant of a certain character, but there is a descendant of the certain character that he's a descendant of in the games. You could have just used that character and adapted that storyline. I don't know why you had to invent someone for this. I understand why, because he's what do they call it? He's the audience's kind of viewpoint. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I can't remember the saying for it.
His acting's not great. He's got strange humour. When he does unlock his special abilities, though, he's the armoured titan, isn't he?
He is essentially the armoured titan.
And he's
but he's
wearing
rubbish. I want to talk about his powers for a minute. Can we go to spoilers?
Let's go spoilers now. Yeah,
there's not much much more I can say about this without going into spoilers.
No, yeah, Sarrnd as a pound or down on the ground.
Sounds pound. Yeah, good. Yeah, worth watching.
Definitely worth a watch. Yeah.
Not. It's not going to change your life. It's not.
No one was expecting it to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
The last thing I'll say for anyone who's watching it who doesn't want spoilers is that this could have been a lot worse. It could, in terms of a video game movie based on Mortal Kombat, it could have been a lot worse. I think you've got to compare it to its 1995 version, which holds, which you actually nearly watched today, didn't you?
I did nearly watch, yes.
By mistake, yeah. He sent me a screenshot of it. Am I watching the right one? And it's like, no, dude, no you're not.
Well, I said, this doesn't look like a 2021 movie.
Your soul is mine. Ah! But if that film, the 1995 version, is probably a better movie overall. Right, in terms of acting, in terms of structure, in terms of storyline, it's probably a better film to watch as a film. But as an adaptation of Mortal Kombat, the 2021 gets things a lot more right. So if we were going to have a sequel, I would take that 1995 story, acting and whatever, and what we've got here with this one, and put the hands.
Yeah,
together.
So I'd struggle to think how a 20-year-old film could do Mortal Kombat better, because it's about the action, it's about the graphics. I say graphics, not like HD or whatever, just like the graphic parts of the film. And
they made it PG. They made it PG-13 back in the day.
Oh, well, that's not a good idea, is it?
No, but do you know what? At the time, it was the best video game movie, and it's still one of the best video game movies, because it did what this film didn't do, and leaned a lot more into the lore and stuff like that. Like Liu Kang, who is in this film, he is the protagonist of the game. He's the main character, and he's the protagonist of the film in the 1995 version as well. So sorry, I derailed you. Go on to Cole. Spoilers. Cole Young's power set.
They didn't really do anything with it, did they?
I was unsure of what even they were.
He gets a chest of armor, and then he can, like, with these like wiry metal things, he can make some like hand weapons. But what he really should have been able to do by the end of the film was craft a full suit of armor, not just a chest.
Yeah.
Should have had like a big badass like dragon helmet or something like that.
Yeah.
And he should have like been able to create like a nice sword or something, like, instead of batons. What is he, British police, mate? What's going on here? Yeah. So I think they started to do something with it. They gave him a bit of the Black Panther absorb
got that there.
and,
The
and
Black Panther absorb and then give it back, and obviously you find out that he's like the descendant of Scorpion. You know, he's like the
which was
the
hinted at like from the very
yeah.
start of the film.
Oh, you can see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah,
The same with like you said about Kano, and she's totally going to end up getting that dragon mark from Kano. You see it telegraphed.
Yeah.
Like
It was either that or a good guy is dying and they turn to her and say, you know, finish me, or someone else says finish him. Obviously,
finish him.
Just so that she can get it.
I've got a list of references down at the bottom.
There's a
of this
lot,
film
isn't there? And they're just thrown in there randomly. It's not.
It's more reference than film.
It almost is.
Like, and I'm pretty sure I've picked up on a lot more than.
Oh, definitely, because I haven't played them. Obviously, Mortal Kombat, it's pop culture, isn't it? So there was a lot that I understood, and it's like, haha, I understand that reference. Captain America face. But I want to get to. I want to talk about the biggest complaint I have about this film, which may be seen as a pro by other people. But they didn't actually do Mortal Kombat. It was fighting to avoid Mortal Kombat, which I wasn't a fan of. I wanted to. I watched this film for one fucking reason, you know.
For Mortal Kombat!
Exactly, mate. And I really wanted it.
This is more like the week before Mortal Kombat!
Exactly. And a lot of what this film does is set up for things in the future that, you know, based on Demon Slayer beating it at the box office, we're probably not going to get to see. But part of me also thinks
it's been greenlit.
Oh, has it?
Kombat 2.
Well, part of me also thinks that studios are okay with lower numbers at the moment.
Yeah,
because of everything, they understand that things aren't going to do as well as they otherwise would have. This probably would have been, you know, a $500 million film at least. I would have guessed.
That, yeah. Although they cheaped a little bit on it. Do you know what I mean? I think it might have been $500 million with marketing and everything all in. Do you know what I mean? But it seemed quite cheap. Like
they didn't pay much for the actors. You can tell straight away. Almost
Raiden
got fighters instead of actors.
Sorry. No, yeah, exactly. And Raiden, who's like meant to be one of the main characters in the film, was played by someone who played just a random side character in one of the Thor films. So you haven't had to pay much for him. So
who the fuck was Raiden again? Was Raiden
the Thunder God?
Yeah, he was Thor.
Yeah, Hogan. You played Hogan the Grim, one of the best one of the Warriors 3.
Yes,
you know the guy.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah. And then Shang Tsung, the main villain, as well, as I said to you when we were on break, he's played by the same guy who was in The Dark Knight, who played Lau, the guy on the TV screen.
Which I didn't get at all. That's he looks very different in this than he did.
Big wig and lenses.
Big wig.
But, you are 100% right though. This is setting up for the future. This is the kind of story that this tells has always just sort of been in the booklet, like for Mortal Kombat. You know, where you get the characters' backstories. You know that Sonya tracked Kano. Kano was part of her team, and he betrayed her. That is just in Sonya's character bio, and then they do the Mortal Kombat tournament. So it is really the week before Mortal Kombat. So maybe we'll get the tournament in the next.
Because there was no indication to me that the tournament wasn't going to happen. There was still a lot of people alive on both sides, and they said in the film there won't be another full moon. So they are days away from this tournament that we don't get to see
yet.
Yeah.
But
if you're making a Mortal Kombat film, you don't set it up for a sequel. You make a good film.
No, yeah, exactly. I think that they've. I think I saw something with the director sort of went into this saying, you know, the way that we've approached it is we're thinking, what would Marvel do? And it's like, okay, so you want a cinematic universe?
Oh, so you've made the first half of Avengers, then that's what you've done.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you what Marvel did though, mate. They made a good film, and it was called Iron Man. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. They had a handful of films before they tried this. They didn't try and build the team straight away, and when they did build the team, they had the team do something.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let me talk about Scorpion, because he's my favourite character, and he's not in this film. Pretty much, he is. I really wish that they had saved some of the Scorpion versus Sub-Zero imagery because I didn't know that it was going to be this big end game fight. You know what I mean? This third act end of the film.
Yeah, so we were like quite
I mean?
far into the film, and I was just like, well, we haven't seen the good action from the trailer yet. And then as soon as we got to like the frosty warehouse or whatever it is, it's the fight club, isn't it? I think from earlier in the film.
Yeah, that classic Mortal Kombat stage, frozen warehouse.
Frozen warehouse. As soon as we get there, I'm just like, oh, okay, so this is where everything that I've already seen is going to happen. Great. And I really wish I didn't see the blood sword in the trailers, because that was one of the best parts of the film. Like, hands down.
Well, to be honest with you, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero is what you buy the price of admission for with Mortal Kombat. It's the classic rivalry. They're on the front of every fucking game. Whenever a new game comes out, they're always fighting in the trailers. So it stands to reason that this was going to be the best part of the film, and it really was. Like, the opening scene for this film is a 10 out of 10. I don't know whether you agree with me there, but I love the first 7 minutes of this film with Hanzo Hasashi and his family in Japan, and then the film just goes. The problem is with that is that it peaks in its opening scene and there's nowhere to go but down, if that makes sense. And then when the Scorpion Sub-Zero fight happens at the end, it kind of goes back up for me a little bit. But I'm thinking, Cole, fuck off. do you know that's that bit where they kind of double team Sub-Zero? I'm like, no, Cole.
I was watching.
Go away.
Mate, you're just gonna get in his way. Like, seriously.
Yeah. But he does the toasty fatality as well, which is probably the only thing in the film that you could hang a reference on that they don't hang a reference on. Like, have Cole's daughter be like, "Ooh, toasty."
I didn't understand that sentence.
Okay, so when Scorpion does his fatality, where he takes off his mask and he breathes fire on someone, right? A little guy who's one of the developers of the game used to pop into the corner of the screen, and the little soundbite would play that went "toasty" just for that fatality.
Okay.
And it's like the only thing that they didn't hang a reference on. And just one more thing about Scorpion. One more thing. All right. So this is a guy who died in Japan in 1617, right, and then went to hell. And wandered the vast expanses of hell to find revenge, and then came back, threw his spear out, and luckily, conveniently, the little bit of English he'd managed to pick up while he was in hell was his world-renowned catchphrase. Get over here! And then everything else he says is Japanese.
You know what? I bet the directors were really happy about that. It's the only words the Japanese actor knows.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, God.
No, I think maybe you should have have him say that in Japanese and just have it subtitled. I think you would have got the same impact. But like, yeah, I don't think he would have picked up English to say his catchphrase.
No, and also. This dude, he's an orphan. I get that he's of Japanese descent, but he's an orphan brought up in America. There is a very, very, very slim chance that he understands Japanese.
Yeah, I thought that as well when he was like saying, "Take care of my plan." Just getting this blank stare. It's like, yeah,
arigato,
all right, Scorpion. I don't know where they're going to go with Scorpion's story, because in the I'll chat a little bit of shit about game lore. I'm sorry if it bores you. But
no, I've already sat back. You're driving.
No, just this little bit. Okay, so in the games, Scorpion is manipulated into thinking that Sub-Zero killed his family. But in the film, it's explicitly stated that Sub-Zero killed his family. So if you're going to have sequels, which it looks like they are, because they set up for it, they tease Johnny Cage, they tease Sub-Zero and Goro's return. Where are you going to take Scorpion's story from here? Because it kind of seems like you put a bookend on it prematurely, because, like I said, Scorpion's the big draw. He's on the cover of all the games. He's your guy. You want to give him some room to have a character arc.
I disagree with that. I don't think they put a big bookend. I think they put a bookend that could easily be taken back off again. And I think if they could do anything with him, he's not like set up. They didn't set him up to do anything from this, but they could bring him back at any point they wanted.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Very, very much so. So these are some of the references I caught them. So Jax tells Cole, like, "Oh, you're the man that took out Eddie Tobias," which is a combination of Ed Boon and John Tobias, who created Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
When you go into the room where Sonya's got all the information on the wall, you see Nightwolf and Kotal Khan.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you list these off while I quickly just duck under camera range and pick my nose.
So Kano announces, Kano wins. Which is obviously in the games, it's all like Liu Kang wins, Kano wins. There's a fatality flourish in the music when Kano does the heart rip. Like that kind of that fatalities sort of have the musical flourish with. Yeah, I'll get the thumbs up. He knows. The great Kung Lao, Shao Kahn, and Prince Jared are referenced. Kung Lao makes his video game entrance. Test Your Might and Fight are named dropped, which are both things that are announced in the game. This was my favourite reference, and it might be my favourite reference in anything ever. And I paused the movie to tell you about it. So when they're having the training montage, Liu Kang sweet kicks Kano about 3 or 4 times in the row, and he gets back up and he says, "Is that the only move you know, mate?" And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant, because it's such an it's sort of referencing the cheap tactics of getting somebody in a corner in like a fighting game like that and just doing the same move over and over and over again. And that was really
no, that was good. That was a good reference.
Yeah, I like it. And then just the last ones, Bo Raicho is name dropped, the Black Dragon are name dropped, Finish Him is said, Flawless Victory is said, Your Soul is Mine is said. Jax fights Reiko on the pit stage. Like when they're fighting, it's pretty much like a side.
It did look, now you say that, it did look like a fighting stage, yeah.
Yeah. Shao Kahn's statue is there. Many moves from the game are done, such as Liu Kang's bicycle kick and Sub-Zero's ice clone.
And the Ice Cream Man's back.
Ice Cream Man's back. It's good we're talking about Sub-Zero.
It is, yeah.
Fatalities said. It like the dragon fatality that Liu Kang does, it's the only one that gets name dropped. He goes, fatality. That's like, okay, all right. That one's a bit on the nose, but just okay. Like I've already said, Get Over Here is said. Not in Japanese though, unfortunately. And then just the musical flourishes all over the film that reference the original theme, and then obviously you've got a remixed version of that techno theme at the end of the film as well.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, there we go.
I really enjoyed the theme at the end of the film. It was actually one of my favourite parts of the whole film.
It slapped, didn't it, man?
It was good. Yeah, let's go right in the playlist, mate.
Yeah. And that was Mortal Kombat.
That was well, it wasn't. It was the week before Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. It was Mortal Kombat 2021. So we'll have to wait around for Mortal Kombat 2024. A decent adaptation. It could have been a lot worse. A solid starting point.
Definitely.
Definitely. Make the sequel better.
Yeah, and I don't think this is only going to appeal to Mortal Kombat fans. Again, I think it just appeals to action fans and fans of fighting, maybe even like MMA fans, because there's some really good hand-to-hand stuff in this, I think.
There is, actually, to be fair.
For the most part, the use of powers is not over the top, and the powers are all sort of interesting. Obviously, they're all pretty basic. Fire, ice, but what do you expect? This is an old franchise, It's... See, when it comes to stuff like making a Mortal Kombat film, you've got to be careful with the audience and sort of not making everything look like that you're just using a trope that's been done to death.
Yeah.
Because Mortal Kombat was probably the origin of a lot of those tropes.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a fine line to walk, but I think they did a really good job of it. Again, the writer can suck a dick, but a lot of people involved in this, you can tell, are immensely talented.
The writer is the guy that we were speaking about last week, the guy who's helping out with Spider-Verse 2. So,
for fuck's sake, man.
Yeah. Wonder Woman 84, Godzilla 2014, this, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Verse 2.
We'll see how Shang-Chi goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how Shang-Chi goes.
All right, cool, man. Cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad I
did too, yeah. No, I wouldn't watch it again, but no, I'm glad. I don't regret.
I might. I might watch it again, but it might be one of those that I type in certain
watch it on
scenes to
YouTube.
YouTube to watch it. Yeah,
I definitely will watch some fight scenes on YouTube.
Yeah, I want to watch that hat spin fatality again. Like I mentioned earlier, simply for the face.
Yeah, he went for it, didn't he? He fucking went
He
for that,
loved it, mate.
Oh.
Yeah, we hung a lampshade on it earlier, didn't we? Kung Lao dies. He's in the film for like 5 minutes and he dies. Both the Shaolin monks were nice to see on film, but did fuck all, really, which was a shame because they're like the main characters.
They did fuck all, except for be a bit pretentious towards the other people.
Yeah, sorry, Sonia. Only those who were chosen can step into the arena.
Yeah, and because of him saying that, because of him saying that, I was just like, when he died, you know.
Yeah, when he gets turned into a dry prune.
It's a shame, isn't it?
I'm not a huge fan of the term soul sucking either. Like when he's like, he's getting his soul sucked. It's like, could you not say soul torn out or soul absorbed? It's like, why sucked? What the thing? I don't
his
like
soul
it.
all really removed from his body, which. And so can you for about £200 at the right massage parlour. So
your soul is mine.
Oh, God.
For $3.50.
Right, shall we move? Is there anything else you want to say about Mortal Kombat?
No. It was okay.
Okay, then.
Like I had a good time with it.
I had a good time too. So how's it going, mate?
How's it going, Jord? Woo! How's it going? What's going on? Tell us about all the shit that you've done. How's it going, kid? I'm all good, mate.
Good.
Okay, so this week I've been watching a bit of Demon Slayer, but I haven't got much of an opinion just yet. You know, I'm vibing with it, but I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes in.
Okay.
The latest episode I saw, he's fought Tojiro. Sorry, not just he. That he's fought this big tree mutant demon thing.
Okay.
That has got something against the sensei and kills all his fucking students and whatever. I like it. I really like it. I'm gonna reserve talking about it until we do an episode on it in a few weeks. And then the only other thing I'll be doing aside from that is playing a little bit of Pokemon Snap. Which is really good. It's really good. Dude, I'd recommend it, man. It's worth the money.
Would my 3-year-old be able to
Oh
participate?
yeah, because you can't really play it like while sat down because of the motion controls.
Oh, that's great. So I'll sit down and tell her to move. Perfect.
Yeah, and that'll be good to see. Man. Get it for your daughter, man. You'll see her like running around with the camera trying to get pictures and whatnot. It's cute, man.
So is the camera just Joy-Cons? Is it just the normal Joy-Cons and the holder?
You can have Joy-Cons. You can take it out and put it on the TV and use the controller, or you can just use which is what I was doing. You can use the system's motion controls and like actually hold it like a camera and do it like that. So
okay,
I've only played a few stages of it because I haven't really had a lot of time this week. Work was murder this week. I've had no free time. And then obviously it was my birthday yesterday, so I had a busy weekend as well. But in the time I did get to play, I've only played a couple of stages, but it is exactly what I wanted it to be. I've been saying for years I want them to revisit Pokemon Snap because it was one of my favourites on the N64. And it's just everything I wanted from an updated version of Pokemon Snap. It's in this game. It's
good.
A chef's kiss. I'm so fucking happy with it.
Good.
I'm so happy. So, yeah,
good. Yeah, I never played the original, so but yeah, I'll definitely pick it up at some point in the next few months to play with.
It's cheap.
Play with the little one.
It's one of the cheaper Nintendo Switch games.
It's 40 quid release, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For me, I haven't really been doing all that much. I haven't really played my Switch in a few months. So I've been on the computer gaming hype. Just been playing a bit of Warcraft. Ooh. We've got the Burning Crusade Classic coming out on the 2nd of June in Europe, in the Europe territory.
Very nice.
Where I happen to live. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The only thing that I've really picked up is Spy Family Volume 4. Now, I have probably almost definitely spoken about Spy Family at some point before because it's one of my favourite ongoing manga series. But Volume 4, I think they've done a really good job with this. because it's the same length as the others approximately, except this is much more of a complete story that you can pick up. There's not all the stuff about, they're trying to, the kids have got to do well at school, X, Y, and Z. They're going about their stuff that we've already seen before, and it's just more of the same, which is still, when they do that, it's good, because we're still early and they're still building the characters in this world and everything. But Volume 4 was a complete story where they weren't in their normal settings, the whole family was involved, they all had their individual storylines that was sort of meet up at the end, and it's actually one of the favourite manga books that I've ever read. It's just so well made.
That's a ringing endorsement, isn't it?
Yeah, it's, if you like the first three, this is going to be, you're going to like this more. It is essentially what I can say, and I really like the first three. It was already one of my favourites, but this is actually probably taking it up to my favourite ongoing series, taking over Chainsaw Man, because I was a little bit disappointed.
Oh no, poor Chainsaw Man!
I was a bit disappointed by Volume 2, so much so that I haven't read Volume 3, which it's been sat over on the shelf. And unfortunately,
that sucks.
So I ordered Volume 2 of Chainsaw Man from W.H. Smith in the UK in December after I'd read Volume 1.
Not a paid promotion.
Not a paid promotion, but please give us some money anyway. And I forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. There was a pre-order. I went and got another one. In fact, I ordered one off Amazon and ended up cancelling that. My camera keeps going really weird. Sorry, guys. Ended up cancelling that and shipping one from America because it wasn't coming, and I have now learned that I would have been waiting till now because apparently I didn't cancel the W.H. Smith one. Shit! I completely forgot about it, so now I've got 2 copies of my least favourite book in the series.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, but if you ever get into it, mate, I've got Volume 2 for you already. So
thanks, dude. I don't like. You can have it. It's not good, Jay. Just, you can just have that, mate.
It's okay, but
right.
The first book's great, and the second book's good.
It's a shame when something like that happens. So it's like it kind of peaks, and the only way to go is down.
And the reason I haven't read Volume 3 yet is because I want it to be as good as Volume 1. I want it to be better than Volume 2, and if it's not,
you're worried that it's not going to be, so you'd rather just not read it than find out.
I'm scared that it's going to be bad, because I really want it to be good, because this is also a manga that an anime series that's currently being made that I'm really excited for, especially coming from, Attack on Titan Season 4 studio Mappa, who were also responsible for Jujutsu Kaisen, which is an absolute fucking banger of a show.
What are Wit Studio doing with themselves nowadays?
I don't know. I don't know at all. To be honest with you, this is a good question.
Kind of missed him a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I mean, we've spoken about Attack on Titan Season 4. You guys haven't seen it, but
but you will.
We've spoken about it.
To be honest with you, though, because we were speaking so much about the show, we never actually touched on the change of studio in that episode. We didn't talk about the CG Titans or anything like that. But that's a conversation that it looks like it's been done to death online. Do you know what I mean? In the fandom
it has, and it has been.
So,
it has been. Sorted by start date. There we go. So they're working on something called Moonrise. They're working on some things I haven't heard of. Actually, I haven't heard of any of these.
Oh, that's a shame.
But it might not be. It might be something that comes out and takes me by surprise and is fucking amazing. So fingers crossed for that.
It's always worth.
They seem to be working on quite a few things there. So they've earned enough sort of good faith from the anime community that people will probably check out whatever they put out next.
Oh, of course.
Looking
Sorry,
forward to that.
Coming back to Spy Family for a second, I like it when that happens, because sometimes a series that I'm reading or watching can start out great. And then just get better. Do you know what I mean? And it's sort of sometimes it can take a little bit to come into its own. Shut up! Apparently Siri thought I was talking to her then. Sorry about that. So what was I saying? Yeah, Breaking Bad's a little bit like that. That it starts out kind of slowish and then really comes into its own.
okay.
So I like it when that happens with the series like that. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Hopefully, it just gets better from there. Like, how many volumes are there going to be, or is it just ongoing?
It's ongoing.
Cool.
It's ongoing, but it's been sort of quite a surprise hit. They did, like Shonen Jump. They didn't give it sort of physical releases straight away, as far as I'm aware. It was exclusive to their app. But I'm not sure if they sort of knew that it was a good book and wanted to use it to sort of get people moved over to their app or what. But no, it's fucking good, and I would recommend it to anyone that. Well, to be honest, anyone that likes manga. I wouldn't say anyone that likes spy stuff, because it is a spy. It's a spy story, but I don't really like spy stuff, and I really like this, so.
Oh, there you go. Then, if you like your Japanesey spy stuff, then there's a recommendation for you. Do you want to talk to me very quickly about Jupiter's Legacy before you go? You've tried to watch
fucking
it.
hell!
We were going to do an episode, but I want to hear George's tried and hasn't liked it.
So we were going to do an episode about this next week, and I was excited for it, not based on anything I'd seen, not based on any trailers, purely because it's a Mark Miller property.
Mark Miller, yeah. It's the first one that Netflix acquired Miller World in 2017.
Yeah, they spent some fucking money on this. I think, off the top of my head, it was like 20 million or something stupid like that, but I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, it was a big chunk of change.
So I watched it because of that reason. This is the thing that Netflix wanted to adapt first, out of all of those great stories and all those great IPs that they got in that deal. And I, for the life of me, could not fucking get into this at all. Like, I did two and a half. I did 2.5 episodes, but if I'm being real with you, I did 1.5, and because I'd really stopped paying any significant amount of attention by then. It just seems so nothingy, and all of the characters seems like just too over the top with one personality aspect.
Right.
They seemed very 2D and just bad. From what I saw, obviously, I didn't see much of it. I think there's 8 or 9 episodes out, so there's a lot more after this that, maybe it gets really, really good. But if something starts out this week, I won't finish it, and I fucking watched both series of Iron Fist, so come at me.
You've learnt your lesson.
Yeah. Well, no, it's more that, I enjoyed them enough to carry on. I didn't enjoy this enough to carry on.
Right, so I think I'm going to give it a couple of episodes like yourself.
Yeah.
But if I'm not feeling it, then we won't be talking about it. Do you know what I mean? If I don't think it's good enough for me to say to you, George, jump back in, it gets better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then we won't be talking about it, because I need to watch Demon Slayer, and I could do with not having another show to split my attention. So if this isn't great, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I am going to make my own opinion on it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
I'll give it
Obviously, people watching this, if superhero stuff's your thing, mate, go fucking nuts. Try it out. Make sure you get your own opinion and not just a reverberation of someone else's, for sure.
Unless it's George's.
Unless it's mine, because I'm always right.
He's right. He's
I'm
right.
always
He is.
right.
He's always right. Yeah.
I was quickly trying to think of a controversial opinion that I actually hold, so that I could quickly spout off. But
what's my most controversial opinion? Oh, I don't know. It's hard to think.
Your most controversial opinion is that Pacific Rim is good, and mine is that Pacific Rim is bad.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, for most people, it's probably somewhere in between.
Yeah. It's not my favourite. It's got good monster action. It's fine. It's good enough.
No, but that's exactly what I was talking about with Mortal Kombat, where it was. That actually was an hour and a half of a shit film for 10 minutes of good action. So.
To each their own. I disagree. Personally, I disagree. It's been a minute since I've watched it. I might drop it in.
You are completely entitled to your completely wrong opinion.
Thanks, man. So are you.
Thank you.
I think a controversial opinion that we both share is that we think The Last Jedi is one of the best Star Wars films.
Yes.
Or at least it's up there. Do you know what I mean?
I think The Last Jedi is one of the best Star Wars films, and I think Rogue One is the best Star Wars film. So that's very controversial.
That's quite controversial.
But I am someone who consumes Star Wars without an ounce of nostalgia for any of the films, you know, except
Do you know
for,
what though?
except for episode 3, I think it's
Episode 3 is easily the best Star Wars film because it's got the most memes. Do you know what I mean?
It's the best Star Wars film for memes, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. It's like the Star Wars memes and the meta culture around it and the shit posting groups and the Reddit users have changed the way that I consume that film. And it's
definitely.
just it is my favourite one. Episode 3 is because
because
of
of memes. Yeah.
But no, I've got ass loads of nostalgia for it, man, and I agree with you that both of those films are like top tier Star Wars films.
Yeah.
Rogue One less so. Like I think Rogue One's a lot of sitting around for a really fucking good ending, like a fucking real strong last act, but it's a lot of dicking about until we get there. But that's what Gareth Edwards does. That the director, he's done that in both of his previous movies before that. A lot of pacing issues in the first and second act, and then a really strong third act. So.
Well, to be honest, I liked all of it. I probably will. I've only seen it a couple, 3 or 4 times, but I think it's the best Star Wars film.
I've seen Rogue One twice all the way through, and I've watched that last scene of Darth Vader in the hallway on YouTube probably like 100 times.
Fair enough.
All right, do you want to call it a day there? Is there anything else you'd like to add? How am you? You all right?
Thank you, Jamie, for being a really, really just top bloke. That's what I wanted at the end. So there we go.
I love you, man.
Oh,
do you know
cheers,
what? Yeah,
mate.
Pacific Rim is shit. Do you know what I mean? There you go.
That's what it's
just for you, mate.
This is why I do it. No, I'm just going to add that I'm going to rewatch Demon Slayer, and hopefully you enjoy the series enough to check out the film.
I'll be doing that anyway for
even
this.
with me. Well, if you don't like the series, don't check it out. I'll talk about it in Aazitgewin instead of us basing an episode off it. It's generally how, we'll only ever talk about something as the main topic of an episode if we've both actually got something to say. Came very close with Mortal Kombat with me not having anything to say, but
I think you held your own, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, what you've got to remember is that it's probably up there for me as one of my super duper favourite franchises. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan.
Yeah, but he could have gone the Warcraft way. It was made by Legendary as well. And the Warcraft film, well, it was crap, but every Warcraft fan was in denial about it being crap because we wanted more films because it's an amazing universe.
You were in denial that it existed. It was Warcraft. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, really? That bad? Jay, I said I don't want to talk
Warcraft
about it.
is probably like, I'm not sure if it's my favourite franchise for lore, but it definitely would be in video games. Like, hands down. And yeah, the film was crap, and it was made by the same people, so
I think like Marvel, well, the MCU, not so much the comics these days, but like MCU and some Marvel stuff, Godzilla, Crash Bandicoot and Mortal Kombat, they're at probably my top 4, and then Star Wars, I think.
Yeah, I'd probably need longer to think about it. There's been a lot of great franchises that have come into my life in the past year.
Do you know what? I forgot about Pokemon. I forgot about it. Yeah, I'd need to think about it. It's not something you can just rattle off the top of your head like that. I don't know what I was thinking, Jord. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. I forgive you, mate. I forgive you. And there was no Attack on Titan on there. And to be fair, even though it's still relatively new to me, it's fucking up there. It's a great it's a great show. Yeah, but no, we'll fucking call it that. Mario's got to be like one of my top friends. Anyway, this is a conversation for another day.
It's not something that you can just rattle off. So we'll decide what we're gonna do next week based off the back of how we get on in the week. There's a few ideas rattling around. We'll have a good show for you next week, guys. We'll have some. There'll be something. There'll be something there. Thank you, everyone, especially if you've stuck around for this long. I know one or two of you are going to. Both Brads are probably here. Mom's probably here. Jade's probably here.
Future Jamie's probably here.
Say again.
Future Jamie's probably
here. I'm definitely here. Where can people find you online if they want to, Jordan?
You can find me at _Sidonian on Twitter or Sidonian on YouTube. I've somehow failed to mention that every single episode up until now. But yeah,
you want to check out Sidonian? It's in our bio.
Yeah, you can find it from our channel.
He's he's fucking funny. This guy is, man. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Like we need this podcast to take off big, so that Jord could quit his job and have more time to make these edits.
I'd love to have more time to make edits. Unfortunately,
so
I'm having my second child at the end of this year.
The fucking baby maker over here. I love it.
So, and subsequently, I'll be taking 2 weeks off from the podcast at the end of the year to look after said child, and then immediately taking another 2 weeks off the podcast to recover from having my balls cut off. So, yeah, look forward to that.
I'm at Kaiju Groupie.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm at Kaiju Groupie on Twitter. I'm at Ataka Official on Instagram. If you like your metal, I'm not going to get my balls cut off at the end of the year. So I'll make sure that either I'll do some solo stuff or we'll pre-record some stuff.
Yeah, we'll do some
for when that happens. But if you see me in real life, fucking leave me alone. That's literally all I ask of anyone. Just fuck off, like.
Except for me, I hope.
Except for Jord and my partner, my son on occasion, and potentially like Emma Stone.
Well, you heard that, Jay's mom. Fuck off. Ha ha ha.
That's for never taking me to fucking Disney World. She's going. It got cancelled because of COVID, but she's fucking going. She's going to Florida.
She's going without you. See,
without me?
When I was a kid, right, and there's more to this story that I'll tell you off air. But when I was a kid, my mum went to New York, and I was like 10, and I was just like, "You're going to fucking New York." Obviously, being like the super selfish arsehole kids that all of us were. Towards our parents. I was like, "You're going to fucking New York and you're not taking me. Yet you make me go to some Spanish island every year or something like that." Super ungrateful, like about any of it. But I later learned there was a very good reason why my mum went without us. She nearly died. She wanted to, she wanted to tick something off a bucket list after having nearly died.
Right. Okay.
We were stupid kids that we didn't care. We were just annoyed that we didn't get to go to New York.
Yeah, like my cousin, she got taken to Australia. She got taken to Disneyland. Everything. I never went fucking anywhere, man. I went to like Cyprus, which was nice.
Mate, you like Mallorca? I've been to Mallorca.
I've been to Mallorca. I've been to Mallorca and Benidorm. I've been to Mallorca and Benidorm, but I've never been to Disneyland.
Ibiza. But you know where I've never been, Jay?
Where?
To Bristol.
You should come.
Right, let's actually end this podcast. Probably our shortest one.
Yeah, I forgot we were still recording, to be honest with you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jord. Thank you, audience. See you fuckers next week.
Peace.
Peace. Ooh, new outro song. Get it up, yeah.
The pod is finished, the pod is gone. Why don't you go watch another one?